In the year 1994, a remote town named Black Hollow quietly faded from the world's attention when an alarming series of child disappearances began to unfold over a period of 6 months. It started inconspicuously with a single missing poster on a wooden utility pole near the entrance of Black Hollow Elementary, its corners curling under the pressure of the damp autumn air. Within weeks, the number of missing children escalated, and the community grew increasingly fearful as dozens of youthful faces stared blankly from weathered, rain-soaked paper, each name hauntingly familiar to the small population. Locals, at first reluctant to admit a pattern, began whispering about a curse tied to the underground storm drains that ran like veins beneath the crumbling streets. These tunnels were a relic of the 1920s industrial expansion, a network built to channel floodwaters, but long neglected and left to decay, their iron grates rusting and their depths echoing with sounds that no one could explain, old residents of Black Hollow recounted stories of strange occurrences dating back decades. Low, guttural giggles heard at night from storm drain openings, and faint smells of popcorn and cotton candy drifting on the wind when no one was around. These details were brushed off by authorities as collective hysteria, a symptom of small-town paranoia, yet a handful of amateur historians unearthed chilling records in the town archives. Every 27 years, a surge of unexplained disappearances plagued Black Hollow, each wave starting in spring and abruptly halting just before the first snowfall. Local newspapers from past decades mentioned these tragedies only in passing, often buried between mundane columns about county fairs and harvest festivals. It was as though some invisible hand worked to suppress awareness beyond the town's borders, keeping the horrors confined to those who lived there. No bodies were ever recovered. No evidence ever surfaced. The missing were simply gone, swallowed, as if the town itself consumed them whole. In 2019, a young documentary filmmaker named Daniel Price stumbled upon fragments of these unsolved cases while researching abandoned towns in America's Rust Belt. Intrigued, he decided to visit Black Hollow and chronicle its history. His early footage captured interviews with the few elderly townspeople willing to speak. Their voices quavered as they described shadowy figures lurking near drains, strange lights in the sewers, and a malevolent presence they all referred to in hushed tones as the thing that feeds. Daniel's recordings painted a picture of a predator not bound by natural laws, one that manifested itself in the deepest fears of its prey. Children spoke of a clown with razor teeth. Others saw an enormous leper, or a pale woman with sunken eyes and a crooked smile. These apparitions seemed to vary by victim, but shared one common trait, an aura of dread so overwhelming that it left survivors catatonic. The filmmaker's work came to an abrupt halt when he himself vanished during an evening shoot near the town's central storm drain hub. His camera was later discovered, waterlogged and cracked at the edge of a grate. Scratched into the lens was a single word. Float. In reviewing Daniel's recovered tapes, investigators noted peculiarities. Audio distortions intensified whenever interviewees mentioned specific dates. Static overlays obscured faces, and faint children's laughter was audible in the background, even when the rooms were silent. His final notes theorized that the entity was cyclical, emerging from hibernation every 27 years to feed on fear and flesh before retreating into the labyrinthine tunnels below. Efforts to excavate or map the storm drain network were unsuccessful. Blueprints in City Hall archives were mysteriously incomplete, with entire sections blacked out. Utility workers sent to investigate reported hearing voices calling their names from below. None volunteered to return a second time. Eventually, county officials declared the area hazardous and ordered grates welded shut. But whispers persisted, rumors that the thing had already resurfaced elsewhere, perhaps migrating beneath another unsuspecting town. To this day, Black Hollow remains. Sparsely populated, houses stand empty, their windows gaping like open mouths. The playground swings creak even on windless days. Those who grew up there refuse to speak of the drain system, though children born since Daniel Price's disappearance seem drawn to the old grates, tossing pebbles and whispering into the darkness below. And sometimes, when the sun dips behind, the hills and the streets are quiet. A faint voice echoes from the storm drains, giggling softly, almost playfully, as if inviting someone to come closer.